Howdy guys, DJ Do here, back with another video. I apologize, it's been a few weeks since I had a video out. I've been on the road nonstop. I literally did the Honda Rodeo in Phoenix in Chase Field, then played that for 3 nights. Then on the last night, I flew all the way to Miami and I did a cruise launching party in Miami. And then I ended up getting on the ship and then I DJ'd in the Dominican Republic and in Haiti and then Cozumel, Mexico, back to Miami, and now I'm in my hotel room in Las Vegas. So I've been very blessed the last few weeks. It's just been nonstop, and I haven't had a chance to make any content. And I just wanted to lay something quick down because somebody asked me a question about what is it like to DJ on a cruise ship, and is it worth it, and how do I get into that, and how do I be a DJ on a cruise ship? Well, let's talk about it.
Spicy camera action.
All right, let's talk about DJing on a cruise ship. First of all, there's two types of DJs. There's a DJ that works for the cruise line, and then there's a DJ that works for an outside promoter or an outside booking firm. I am the second, so I'm the late latter. So I work for an outside company that books me on cruises, and that's way better than being a cruise ship DJ. So let me explain. If you work for Royal Caribbean, you work for that company. Most of the DJs on those ships are really young. They're probably like 18 years old, 19 years old. They may even be younger. To me, they felt younger, but they're not. They're also cross trained and cross compatible. So they may DJ for a couple hours and then they use them somewhere else on the ship to maybe be a sound engineer for another show. And then they use them somewhere else and they work nonstop. And if that's your thing, that's cool. They go for 6 month cruises normally. So a 6 month cruise means that they're on the ship for 6 months straight. They rarely get off. They get far and few between when they can go to port and they can kind of hang out and see the sights that they go on the cruise ship. Otherwise, they're on that ship pretty much nonstop, nonstop working. You don't fraternize with the passengers. You sleep and you eat what they call deck zero, which is the bot or deck one or deck zero, depending on what ship you're on. And essentially down there, you sleep with the rest of the crew. So you may be bunked up with like four, maybe six other people into one room or into like a bay where they bunk everybody together. You eat at a different chow hall. You eat, I'm military, so I still call it chow hall, but you eat at a different mess, and then you eat. You don't eat with the passengers. You don't drink with the passengers. It's a different life on a cruise ship as a DJ. The good thing is they don't get paid a lot of money, but like I just said, the good thing is that they essentially don't spend any money either because their food is for free, their housing is for free, and it's like 6 months at a time. Most of the DJs that I have talked to, they're awesome DJs, nice guys, nothing big, but most of the DJs that I have spoken to can't wait to get off the ship. After like the first couple weeks, they're ready to go. And cruise ships, I don't know if you know, but say you leave on a journey on Sunday, you come back the following Sunday, say it's a 7 day cruise, and you come back the following Sunday in the morning, everyone's off the ship by about 9 a.m. And then by 4 p.m. or by 3 p.m., that ship's already sailing out with another bunch of people already. So there's a transition period of a couple hours, and it's not like they get a day off or anything like that. It's just nonstop. So that's why, and I don't know what the labor laws are, but that's why most of the staff on cruise ships are from other countries. They're from Jamaica, they're from the Bahamas, they're from all over. But I don't know too many folks that are from America that, from the United States that are on cruise ships working, in that capacity. That's why a lot of the staff members are from different countries all around the world because I think the labor laws are a little bit different how they manage and they justify working you that much. Now, in my situation, totally different. What I do is I'm booked by an outside company as a subcontracted entertainer. So I'm essentially a headline entertainer. So I go on the cruise ships with a whole different situation. I do stay with the passengers. I do fraternize with the passengers. I am allowed to drink with the passengers. I eat at the same places that the passengers eat at. I get paid a really good salary. and I only work maybe 1 to 2 shifts a day for 2 hours a day, or maybe, two shifts for 2 hours, so maybe 4 hours total. I may play on the pool deck in the daytime, and then whatever kind of party they're having at night, I'll play another couple hours. Usually it's me and three other DJs, four DJs total for a 7 day cruise, and we'll do the whole thing. That that's on top of what the ship already has. So they already have their own DJs playing with the different venues on the ship. But the main events on the ship are usually done by me or the other three guys that I'm with. Matter of fact, I'm looking for two more guys right now that are gonna I'll end up taking on board probably the next one in April. But the but the thing about DJing on a cruise ship is that not all, if you're a hip hop DJ, you're not going to DJ on a cruise ship. If you're a house DJ, you're not going to DJ on a cruise ship. You have to be well rounded. You can't be a country DJ. You can't be anything. You need to be everything, all inclusive. You need to know island music. You need to know salsa, merengue. You need to know cumbias. You need to know house, techno, freaking you name it, because hip hop, top 40, pop, party songs, 80s, 90s, 50s, Motown. You need to know all of that, because essentially the passengers on the ship are from everywhere, and they're all different demographics. All different demographics. And you have to be able to adjust to whatever you have in front of you at any point. So whatever music you like and you listen to normally, screw it. And that's somebody else's, that's your own problem. You need to play what's on that ship. Also, when it comes to drinking on the ship, you are allowed to drink. In my situation, when you're some kind of, I am allowed to party when I'm off duty. But here's the caveat. You have to be careful about that, because first of all, don't drink during your sets at all. You can't drink during your sets. And when you're done drinking, you make an ass out of yourself, they will send you home. So at the next port, say I'm going from Miami to the Dominican Republic, and I play in between there, and then I get off work and I'm just partying it up with the rest of the staff on them, or the rest of the people sailing on the ship, their customers, then they'll send me home when I get to the Dominican Republic. And that has happened. I've seen it happen twice now, where they actually have sent the artist home because they had too much of a good time, if you know what I'm saying, on the ship, or something happened, or somebody got jealous, or who knows. But they are very quick to send you home also. And mind you, if you get sent home, that's on your expense. That's on your expense. They will literally have, and if they need to escort you off the ship, they will escort you off that ship. So that's the thing. So have a good time when you're on the ship, but be very conscious that people are watching you at all times. Because I do chartered cruise ships, I just did Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Sea, and it was an adult only cruise. It was wild, absolutely wild, 21 and up only, and it was a party like you wouldn't believe. But here's the scoop, that they have their own security staff and their own people that are in plain clothes watching everything that goes on that ship. Because in order for them to charter the ship, they have to not only use Royal Caribbean or Celebrity or whatever cruise lines are on, they use their security, but it's supplemented by the security that these charters ships go on. So the last cruise I just got off of yesterday or 2 days ago, it was 6,700 people on the ship. 6,700, huge. Crazy, crazy, crazy time. And that's what they told me, is 67. But I looked up the stats and it said the ship can only hold 65 or 66. So who knows? But somewhere in there, way over 6,000 people. And it was wild. And I just wanted to make a short video telling you how it works. Now, in order to get onto these charter companies, you have to kind of know somebody. Like if you know me, or like I know the people that I know the folks that I work with. So they, I recommend them people. And now, or if I don't recommend them, I'll tell them who not to get, or who to get, or who to bring on. A lot of it is just being a good hang too. Not only do you have to be very well versed in all kinds of music, but you have to be a good hang. You have to be able to be a team member. You have to be able to get along with other people, because you're on a ship eating together, working together, and everything for 7 days. It ain't like you're going home that night. You're stuck. You're stuck for 7 days. It's like being on a tour bus. And I could talk about that in another video also. But yeah, you have to be a good hang. As far as being bunked up with somebody, normally no, not lately. I haven't been bunked up with anybody, but yes, that there is times where you may have probably another DJ on the ship, and you guys will kind of bunk up together, you know. But now I'm at the position where I could bring my lady on if I wanted to, at a little expense, or they'll take it out of my check at a little expense. I could bring her as an additional passenger onto the ship. So she comes with me. on some of these cruises that I've been on, and she'll be with me on the next one. But yeah, you go to some fabulous ports. You can get off the ship, so you don't play when you're in port. You can get off the ship. You can go walk around and do like all the touristy stuff, and it's just a good time. So you get to enjoy exactly what the passengers enjoy, except you have to work maybe 2 to 4 hours a day, and then you're done. And it's great. As long as you can behave, control yourself, and have a blast, and be a good hang, then you'll get along great on a cruise ship. So that's the scoop. So like I said, to recap, working for a cruise company like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, whatever, is much different than being a subcontracted entertainer on a cruise ship. Two separate things. So with that, folks, I'll leave you with that, and I'll try to get some more equipment to show you. I do have some new lighting coming, some new DJ gear coming, and I'll be able, once I get a hold of it. I haven't been home in weeks, so once I get a hold of all my stuff, then I'll get some more gear content for you. So stay tuned, and I'll see you again on the next one.